When we sent out the email about tonight, it mentioned that I don't do requests except when I'm in the mood, and I was. And this one was requested. Jen actually asked me to do something about nervousness. And I wanted to specifically talk about this work in relationship to that possibility in life. How many of you can say that, pardon me, this is the problem with drinking the Monster. How many of you can say that you have never experienced any nervousness, tension, stress, flop sweats, jitters going into an audition or a performance? Is there anybody who doesn't experience that? Really? Because I have some friends who swear they do not experience it at all. None. They're just none. And I think that that's terrific for them. I don't understand it. I know that I experience less of it teaching, doing this than I used to, because I've done it quite a bit. But when I go to take this same work into a new venue, maybe people I don't know, pardon me, when I did the preview class in Washington right after the inauguration, just because it was in a different place, a different group of actors, a city where only a few people knew of me. There weren't so many, there were a few familiar faces to me there, but not many. And I've experienced more nervousness than I do ordinarily. But it's lessened as my life has gone along, for a couple of reasons. One, that I pretty much am doing things that are familiar to me most of the time in situations where one might be nervous. But also, as time went on, I learned that there was just no value in it. It didn't do me any good. It didn't make me better. It didn't, and some people swear it does. Some people go, I want to get nervous because it sends me in with a rush of adrenaline. I did not experience that. I got the rush of adrenaline, but essentially it just made me halting and confused when I had it. It wasn't really a positive thing. So over time I've also just gone, there's no upside to this for me, and that I think has also caused me to just logically lessen it in my life. But I still experience it some of the time, and I know that seemingly everybody in the room experiences it some of the time as well. How many of you would say that it affects you virtually every time you have to perform? And how many of you would say it gets distinctly in the way? You'd be better without it. Okay, good. Well, then it's worth talking about. All right. I want to lay out some groundwork because I did a lot of thinking about some teaching I used to do and don't do anymore that had to do with this subject. I thought about some of the stuff that we talk about in the myth lectures, so you may hear some pieces that you've heard before. But I think that there's a logical basis that we have to talk about when we talk about nervousness. Because nervousness is just another name for what? Fear. Okay? It's a particular kind of heightened, physical, for most of us, kind of fear reaction. I think one of the things that's important